time.
W7 Live. We are live and ready to talk softball. How can that be, right? I mean, it's what, the 27th of February, there's snow on the ground, and we're here to talk softball? That's how we roll, you guys. You know that. Welcome. We're not done with basketball season yet, so we've got games tomorrow and Saturday. If you're just tuning in, be sure to join us tomorrow night, Germantown versus Bayport, in what should be an off-the-hook game tomorrow night, girls basketball sectional semifinals. And then we will have a sectional final for you on Saturday. Don't know who that's going to be yet, but find out tomorrow night or first thing Friday. So a lot of stuff going on, but here we're to talk about softball today, and we've got a packed show. So let's get right into it. And first of all, we made it, you guys. We're ready to get started. And I know there's snow on the ground, but hey, that's going to go away, and we're going to start playing ball here pretty soon. So let's start with, I want to just, for those of you who don't know who we are, I think it's important that we just, real quickly, and I won't spend a lot of time on this, but I want to just kind of briefly tell you who W7 is, because we get that a lot. So we're a media company that live streams high school girls athletics, and we believe we're very unique in the fact that our sole focus is high school girls athletics. We don't do any college stuff. We don't do any boys stuff. We don't do, this is who we are. We'll do a little bit of youth stuff for girls, just really to help some friends that are trying to build a program, that type of thing. But for the most, 99% of what we do, high school girls athletics, primarily softball, basketball, volleyball, and lacrosse. And we're a limited liability corporation, again, focusing on girls athletics. We talked about that. All of our programming is 100% free to watch for everyone, 100% free to the schools and teams we cover, no exceptions. So you'll never get a bill from us for coming and live streaming an event at your school. You'll never get a bill for us or ask for a credit card to watch any of our live streams. If you get that, somebody's defrauding you, so be careful. But all of our stuff 100% free to watch on social media, on our website. The vast majority of our staff, we get asked this a lot. Hey, how can I come work for you? I'd like to leave my current job and come work for you. Well, I haven't been able to leave my current job, so unfortunately we don't have paid staff at this point, and the vast majority of our staff is comprised of volunteers who really have a passion for girls athletics. And if that sounds like you, might be somebody like that says, hey, I'm really good at social media, or hey, I would like to help with the scheduling, or I would love to come and run a camera for you, or hey, I'd like to be in front of a camera. Let us know. We're always looking for help. We've got some fantastic volunteers that have been just absolutely critical for us to be successful. And again, I say this often, this isn't me alone. This is our community supporting girls athletics, and that means it's open. It really, the company really belongs to the girls. Our job is, if you looked at an organizational chart, it would be inverted in that the girls are at the top, and then we're down below there just to support them and to serve them, and that's really what we do, whatever the sport may be. And again, the goal being twofold. One is to continue to shine a light on girls athletics, because we think that it's the greatest thing there is. Nothing against boys sports. I personally enjoy watching girls athletics much more. I think it's just a different game, and there's just a lot of things that go with that. Number two is looking for opportunities to help promote female athletes to get their name and their body of work in front of potential colleges if they want to go on and play past high school. We have a lot of followers who are in college athletics, coaches. Most of you know, good friends with head coach Jonathan Sippis of the Badgers, but also friends with Coach Krieger at Marquette, friends with really a lot of different schools, and we've got a lot of different contacts within schools. So we're always looking to help promote our athletes in the area to colleges that have an interest, because obviously they're always looking as well, and it's a big state. There's a lot of schools and a lot of teams, and sometimes kids get overlooked, and we want to make sure that if your child, or if you have an interest in playing past high school, if we can help, we definitely want to do that. So that's really who we are in a nutshell. It's my company. I started it. It began when my daughter was playing high school basketball several years ago, and we'd go to games and there'd be 20 people in the bleachers, and it was one of those situations where I said, someday I want to do something for high school girls athletics, and this kind of came around through some friends of ours, and I said, hey, I want to try this and see if it works. And so really the last 18 months has been an experiment to see, does it work? And it does. And there's an interest and there's a passion for it. And, what I love most of all is the girls have ownership of it. And what I mean by that is they know that it belongs to them and it's for them. And so they're very protective of it. It means a lot to them, and that means a lot to us. So that's who we are. We get our funding through a couple different places. One is we do some custom video work, production work that we'll charge for. You can also buy archived games that we've done in any of the athletics. We do an annual fundraiser to determine who the home team is going to be. So each year we'll pick a home school. What that means is when you make a donation to W7 during our fundraising period and you name your school, the school that, when we tally it all up, the school that raises the most, we do 25% of our home games with that school. For 2018-19, it's Brookfield Central. Who's it going to be in 2019-20? Don't know yet because we haven't started that. That's going to be coming in March. So that's coming soon. If you're interested in your school, your team getting 25% of our live streams at your place, you'll definitely want to stay tuned for that. That's coming soon. So a lot of great things there. And then also through just private donations, we have a ton of people that just say, hey, I can't give you time because I've got 3 kids I'm running around with and doing things with, but I see that you cover my daughter's games or my niece's games or my granddaughter's games, and let me help you financially. And so again, we're very appreciative of that. I always say it's appreciated but never expected. So that's my sales pitch who W7 is. We don't have a lot of sponsors. We do have one new partner I want to mention. It's Zone Athletics, and their website is www.zoneathletics.com. We have just recently, and I would say recently, I mean literally within the last 5 days, met with Brian and Steve, the owners of Zone Athletics. They do custom uniforms for all different types of athletics. A lot in girls as well, and so we're going to partner with them in a number of ways, and I don't really want to get into all of that today, but what I will tell you is you're going to start seeing the name Zone Athletics tied a lot with W7, because again, if you know us, we're about relationships. We're not about, hey, we're going to be everything to everybody and we're going to try to cover 15 states and do 150 teams. That's not who we are. We don't want hundreds of sponsors. I want a small group of partners that can consult with us, that are strategic and can help us take W7 to the next level again for the girls, and we can help them build their business. But again, it's got to be the right fit, and Zone Athletics is absolutely the right fit. So there's going to be a lot more to come about them. In fact, a very exciting contest coming up I'm going to share with you in just a minute involving Zone Athletics. So that's who W7 is and really what we're about. So I've got you through all that. What do you say we talk about the softball schedule for this year? You guys ready? Okay, here we go. By the way, if you want to interact with us, you can go on. Make sure you're watching on our Facebook page because we'll look for comments there and respond during the live stream tonight on any questions you might have or comments that you have. Keep them nice, of course, but go to Facebook and comment there if you want to talk to us during this event, or you can always contact us after. Email us, contact us on social media, whatever works best for you. We are always open to ideas, feedback, suggestions, and again, anybody that wants to help, you're welcome with open arms, and we'll help get you started right away and make the entry point as quick and easy for you as possible. Okay, so with all that said, let's talk about our schedule for this year. So just a few things. First of all, we're covering 21 teams this year, which that's a lot. For if you look at softball compared to basketball, so basketball it's about a 4-month season. Softball it's about 2 months. So that's a lot to do in a short amount of time. And we're going to focus on 5 conferences. Now in basketball, we did a lot more in the Madison area. We did some up north. We even went to Iowa. We're not going to do that for softball. We're going to stick around home and really focus on the teams in our area because we think that there's plenty of opportunities to serve at home. We don't necessarily need to go on the road with this this year. So we're going to focus on the Classic 8, the GMC, the North Shore, the Southeast, and the Woodland, which, hey, that's not a small amount of teams. I mean, that's a lot of ground. So it'll keep us very busy this year, which we're always thrilled to be, and a lot of games. So let's get into our first one. We're going to talk about the North Shore Conference first. So the North Shore is Hartford Union, Homestead, Slinger, and West Bend West. Those are the 4 teams that we're going to live stream games with this year. And again, if you're just joining us, what we're talking about is our 2019 softball schedule. We're going to live stream about 25 games this year throughout the area in softball. And really what that means is we're going to come to your place. We'll set up multiple cameras, usually between 4 and 7 cameras, and we'll do play-by-play of the game. We'll interview coaches. We'll do a player of the game, a Zone Athletics player of the game following the game. In fact, the player of the game gets a nice little prize from Zone Athletics. So, again, they've been a great partner already, just jumping right in and helping us, and we're really excited about that. So it's – we're going to do social media on game day about your team, about you guys, about what's going on, and the importance of the game. If you watched us last year, it's going to be very similar to last year. So if you're interested and want to know more, go back through our social media feed from last year, and you'll see all the stuff. We did a ton for softball last year, you guys, and Falls, you guys know that. Wauwatosa East, you guys know that. We did an awful lot last year, and looking forward to doing that again this year. So North Shore, Hartford, Homestead, Slinger, West Bend West. We'll just go through the schedule for the North Shore itself. So you'll see here we're going to do 5 games in the North Shore Conference this year, starting March 22nd, which is, again, like 3 weeks from now. Homestead, Germantown. Now, I know Germantown's a GMC team, but they're classic North Shore from way back. But there's a North Shore team playing, so we're going to just include Germantown in this. So Homestead at Germantown, March 22nd. We'll be at G-Town on March 22nd for that. April 15th, Slinger at Hartford. It's funny, we've done volleyball and basketball, Slinger and Hartford. How could we not do softball? Of course we're going to do softball, Slinger, Hartford. And I got a call from Coach Villarreal at Slinger, and I got a call from Coach at Hartford saying, hey, are you going to do this game? So it's a huge game. We're always excited when Slinger and Hartford get together. It's the greatest, friendly / unfriendly rivalry there is, I think, around it. I love when those two teams hook up. In fact, we just did basketball just a couple weeks ago, so that's going to be a lot of fun. May 9th, a great opportunity. This isn't 100% firm yet, you guys, so I'm still working with West Bend West to get this firmed up. But we're planning on live streaming Hartford versus West Bend West live from Hellfair Field at Miller Park, or I think it's still Miller Park. It's going to be American Family Park or whatever they're going to call it. But Hellfair Field will be there for that game. Again, assuming we get the details worked out with West Bend West and Hartford. We're working on that now. But May 9th, we're super excited about that. That could be a lot of fun. And then just 4 days later, we'll be back with West Bend West again, but this time at Slinger. So West Bend West at Slinger. If you know the Slinger team, went to state last year. Great team. A lot of those kids are back this year. It's going to be a lot of fun. Jen Flaherty, I know you're on. Sylvia, I know you're watching. So we're excited to come to. And Danny, I know you're on as well. So we're excited to come to Slinger and do games in almost back-to-back days, because we'll be back again May 16th with Homestead at Slinger. So that's our North Shore Conference schedule. Five games in the North Shore this year should be a lot of fun. That's coming up starting March 22nd, so it'll be here before you know it. Okay, let's take a break here. I want to talk to you real quickly about what we're calling the Find Your Zone contest by Zone Athletics. So I mentioned Zone Athletics is a partner of ours. We're going to have a contest this year, and again, this is just for area softball teams. The contest is going to run from the 27th of February, which, yep, that's today, up until March 8th, which is next Friday. So really, it's going to be a very short window. You're going to get 8 days, and during that time, you need to get together with your teammates and put together a quick 60-second or less lip dub, lip sync, whatever you want to call it, video with any popular song from the 1990s. So it's got to be from the 1990s, not the 1960s, not 2010s. It's got to be 1990s. If you need help finding a good song from there, talk to your parents. Find any song from there. Get at least 5 players from your team. You get bonus points if you get more, but at least 5 have to do it together, and then upload it to YouTube and email a link to us at info@productionsw7.com. Now, let me just say a couple things. Number one, we're not expecting professional grade quality by any means. Take it with your phone, take it with a tablet. What I would do, though, if you do that, is don't do it like in selfie mode. I mean, do it, have it mounted somewhere so you don't get a lot of shaking with your footage, because that's really distracting. So try and get it stable, but again, we don't need professional grade quality. We're really just looking more for you to do it and to be enthusiastic about it, get your teammates involved. The prize, it's a great prize, you guys. I'd love to see any of our teams win this. you're going to get a custom alternate jersey for each player on your team for 2019. And that's going to be for this year. So we're doing this in such a short amount of time because we're going to need to turn it around and get to production and get these jerseys made for you guys and ready for the season. So it's going to take us about 4 to 5 weeks with Zone Athletics to do this. And again, they're really, stepping up and helping us put this whole thing together. So the only requirements are it has to be a team from either the North Shore, Classic 8, GMC, Woodland, or Southeast Conference. We'll do the judging, W7 and Zone Athletics, and we'll give you the criteria. The first thing that we're looking at, the most important thing, is the number of players. So if you have 5 players and you put together a fantastic, amazing video, that's great, and you're creative, enthusiastic, that's all fantastic. But if you have 12 players and you put together a pretty good video and you're creative, enthusiastic, that's going to beat out the 1 with 5. So I'm giving you a hint. Get as many players on your team involved as possible. Don't do it by yourself. Don't do it with 3 other kids. You got to have at least 5. They got to be current players. Again, we're not looking for American Idol here. We're just looking for have fun with it. Be creative, but most importantly, be enthusiastic and show that you enjoy it, because we're going to post these during the season and take clips and all this kind of stuff. So it's really what I found out about softball is they love doing lip dub videos. If you go on YouTube and look, there's thousands of these things. So there should be no shortage of ideas. If you're looking for something creative to do, go to YouTube and look up lip dub videos in softball. And I'm telling you, all these teams are doing these. So do that. Get it to us. Make sure that you send us the link, and then we'll take a look at it. And we'll do the judging. We'll announce probably the following Monday, because that weekend is the state basketball tournament. So I'll be up at Green Bay with that. But the next Monday, we'll announce the winner. So you've got until the 8th of March to get that in. So make sure that you do, because we really want to see your team in custom alternate jerseys. And again, this is brought to you by Zone Athletics. And again, we're so thankful for them and their partnership, and it's going to be a great thing. So one thing we heard a lot was, hey, you do all this stuff for basketball. What about these other sports? Hey, we didn't give any jerseys away in basketball, I'll tell you that. We didn't give anything away. So this right here, right off the bat, softball, you guys are getting, first, favored nation status here. So take advantage of it. I'd be disappointed if we only got 1 or 2 teams to participate in this. I'd love to see 10, 15 teams jump in and say, hey, we want these. And I'm telling you, I've seen these jerseys. They're sharp. They're really, really good. These guys make great quality stuff. So this isn't some off-the-rack, $5 T-shirt. I mean, these are nice jerseys. So get in there, get that video done, get it to us so we can take a look at it, and maybe your team is going to win alternate jerseys for the 2019 season. Wouldn't that be great? Okay, hey, back to the schedule. Let's talk about the Southeast Conference. Only 2 teams out of the Southeast, both good friends of ours, Franklin and Oak Creek, and both fantastic softball programs. Excited to go see Coach Reck and Franklin. I talked to Coach Reck on social media the other day, and she said, why is it, when you're looking at schedules, you're always looking at coming to do Franklin games when it's super cold out. I said, well, Coach, we like to come to Franklin early because you guys have such a great program, and there's such enthusiasm behind it that it helps kind of jumpstart our season. And plus, I need to have one of my cameras smashed in the first week of the season. So the best place to do that is Franklin, right, Abby Matthews? So Abby, if you remember from last year, Abby hit a foul ball into one of my iPads last year, and we put it to the Titanic music and the whole thing. It was hilarious, and so that was our time with Franklin last year. But we're gonna do 2 games with the Sabres this year. Actually, really 3 games if you look at it. March 21st, they have a doubleheader with Waukesha North, and that's at Franklin. And I've already confirmed with Coach Reck. You guys know how spoiled I am. Coach Reck has told me I could be up in the press box up there at Franklin. So March 21st, that way I'll stay nice and toasty up there. So March 21st, Waukesha North at Franklin, doubleheader. We'll be there for that. And then May 7th. The rivalry to beat all our rivalries. I don't know of a bigger one in the state. Franklin Oak Creek. Got to love that one. That's always great. We'll be at Oak Creek for that one on May 7th. Looking forward to seeing the girls from the Knights there, and of course the Sabre kids. Looking forward to just watching that game happen. That'll be a ton of fun. So May 7th, Franklin Oak Creek. That's your Southeast Conference schedule. Again, short, succinct, sweet, but going to be very powerful. Woodland Conference, a lot of games in the Woodland this year. 6 different teams involved: Cudahy, New Berlin Eisenhower, New Berlin West, Pewaukee, South Milwaukee, and West Dallas Central. So let's get into the into the Woodland Conference. So here's our schedule. I know the West Allis Central kids actually have open gym tonight, and Coach told me that they're going to take a break and watch the reveal show. So hello to our friends at West Allis Central Bulldogs. Hope you guys enjoy this. So here we go. Here's the schedule for the Woodland. March 26th, New Berlin West at Catholic Memorial. So we'll get a first look at the Vikings and the Crusaders in March. March 28th, South Milwaukee at Cudahy. That should be a really fun one as well. April 8th, we're coming to West Allis Central. Pewaukee, West Allis Central, April 8th, live at West Allis Central. April 9th, New Berlin Eisenhower at New Berlin West. That's usually a pretty good rivalry. Speaking of rivalries, we talked about Franklin Oak Creek. That's a pretty good one too, right? So that'll be a lot of fun. That's April 9th, New Berlin Eisenhower, New Berlin West, live from New Berlin West. And then April 29th, Pewaukee at New Berlin Eisenhower. So we'll do one game at New Berlin Eisenhower this year. Molly Beacom, who's on the W7 staff, she's actually been helping us this year with a really, really big documentary on Brookfield Central girls basketball. She plays for New Berlin Eisenhower, and Coach Liebel, the Brookfield Central girls basketball coach, is going to come do that game with me, so we can be there to support Molly and just thank her for all that she's done for us. She's been just an unbelievable resource for us and help for us, and just a huge part of what we're doing. So love you, Molly, and thanks for everything that you've done for W7. It just goes beyond words how much we appreciate all of your contributions and efforts. May 4th will be New Berlin West and Wauwatosa East. So pretty New Berlin West heavy this year. Love West. We didn't get a chance to do much basketball with them this year, so able to do a few softball games, and excited to renew that friendship over at New Berlin West this year. So that's our Woodland Conference schedule. Into the Classic 8 we go. 5 teams from the Classic 8 this year: Arrowhead, Catholic Memorial, Muskego, Waukesha North, and Waukesha West. So a busy schedule with all those teams. We're going to go through each of these schools individually. We'll do this for both the Classic 8 and the GMC. So let's start with Arrowhead. Arrowhead, May 17th, we're going to come see the Warhawks at Muskego. That'll be a great event there at Muskego. Looking forward to watching those two teams get together. May 17th at Muskego, Arrowhead coming in, and Arrowhead's always good in softball. We're excited to come and do our really first ever live stream with the Warhawks and also with Muskego. So it's going to be a great day. May 17th, we'll see you then. Catholic Memorial, 2 games with CMH, March 19th and March 26th. I would say, just for CMH, out of all of the softball social media pages, I think CMH is one of the more active ones and really one of the more funny ones. They always got funny stuff going on at CMH. So if you haven't yet, make sure you follow them. And we really all should follow each other on social media, all the softball teams, because again, just like basketball and like all the other girls' sports, I mean, we are one big family here. And yes, we want boys' sports to support us and football to support us and all that. And I get that, and I'm totally in favor of it. But it really has to start with us as a girls' athletics community supporting each other first. So make sure that you're following all of your softball, not just your team, but your competitors, clubs, all of those things. You know, make sure you're following everybody, because we really need to support each other before we start worrying about what boys are doing or not doing. So if you're not following them, get on it right now. Go follow CMH. They're a lot of fun on social media. Muskego, 2 games with the Warriors this year. April 12th against Waukesha North, and then May 17th against Arrowhead. We talked about the Arrowhead game, but we're going to be there April 12th as well for, I believe it's a one Warrior Day. It's a theme day that they've got going on that we're going to be part of, and we're super excited to start our friendship with Muskego girls softball. So we'll start that April 12th, and then again May 17th will be our game with Arrowhead. Waukesha North, 3 games with North this year. Actually, it's if you look at it, it's really 5 games. March 21st at Franklin, that doubleheader we talked about. So Mad Dog, you better bring it, girl. We're counting on you. April, so that's to Maddie Anderson at Waukesha North, all-state pitcher, and again, North went to state last year as well in softball, a great program. And several of the girls basketball players also play softball. So Liz Sweet, Emma Losier, also play softball. So excited to get to spend more time with those guys. We did a lot with North this year. My son actually did the filming for a documentary that we're doing with Waukesha North girls basketball. Their season just ended this week, and I got to tell you, my son was so sad at the end. Didn't want it to end, but that's the way these things go. So we'll get him to come out with us for a couple softball games and say hi to the girls. So Waukesha North girls basketball, we expect to see you guys there. And by the way, if you're a girls basketball player or volleyball player or lacrosse player and you're free on any of these days, you had better be at a softball game cheering on your classmates. If you expect them to come to basketball games in January, well, they're going to expect you to come to softball games in March. And believe you me, it's not easy to do it, and there's always excuses. Don't be that guy. Don't be that girl. Be the one that says, I'm going to go and support my classmates. And then it'll come back around when it's your turn. So looking to see you guys out there. I'll be looking for you when we come out. I'm always looking for my girls in all these sports to see what you guys are doing. Make sure you're out there supporting your teammates and your classmates. So North, we're coming. Get ready. It's going to be a lot of fun. And we know Coach is on for North. He and I exchanged email this last week, and we're super excited to start up with Waukesha North this year. Waukesha West. Doubleheader at Waukesha North on April 30th. So, again, it's be our first experience with Waukesha West. Looking forward to that. And that's our coverage for the Classic 8. Okay, guys, home stretch. Here we go. The GMC, the big one. 6 teams in the GMC this year. Brook Central, DSHA, Germantown, Menominee Falls, Wauwatosa East, and West Allis Hale. And we did games with all of these teams last year. And, again, one thing that if you're a strong follower of W7, you know this. We're a GMC-led organization. What that means is we do other conferences, but really the heart and soul of who we are is the GMC, just because that's where we got our start, and that's really where we really started ramping up. So we're a GMC-led company. We do other conferences, but we'll always do more with the GMC just because that's just who we are. So let's talk about the GMC, starting with Brookfield Central. And again, I mentioned this at the beginning, and I'll just re-mention it now. Brookfield Central is our home school for this year, and what that means is we do a higher percentage of games with them. And again, I'm talking about all sports, not just softball, but as an aggregate, we do a large percentage of games with Brookfield Central. So we're doing 4 games in softball this year. April 2nd will be at home game. They're still at Endicott Park this year, so 1 home game, that's April 2nd. And then April 4th at the Falls, April 16th at DSHA, and April 23rd at Tosa East. So you can almost set your clock by almost every week, right around there, we'll be doing a BC game in April. So a busy month in April with the Lancers for W7. Okay, DSHA. 3 games with the Dashers this year. April 11th at Germantown, April 16th against Brookfield Central, and May 2nd at the Falls. The GMC is going to be super competitive this year, you guys, and we're going to have some really great softball this year. I'm so excited. I'm telling you, there's a lot of great teams in the GMC this year, and really all the conferences we're covering. If you look up and down, we're really doing a who's who in softball this year, but at the same time, just trying to get as many teams in as we can during this short window that we have. So DSHA, 3 games at Germantown, Brookfield Central at home, and at Menominee Falls. Now, speaking of Germantown, 3 games with the Warhawks this year. I know Christy Hillman made sure that we dialed in with Germantown to get some games with them. Actually, it's really more than 3 games if you look. So March 22nd, Homestead. That's going to be a fun one in March against Homestead. At G-Town, we'll be there. April 11th. Also, all the Germantown games we're going to do this year are actually in Germantown. So April 11th against DSHA, and then they have a tournament April 27th with 7 other teams. We're going to be there for that day to do hopefully all the games on that day. We'll see how the schedule works out, but our plan is to be there for the entire day for that event at Germantown, April 27th. That's a Saturday, so an all-day thing with the Warhawks on Saturday, April 27th. And again, if you're my basketball players and you're watching tonight, expect to see you guys out there. You hear me, Natalie McNeil, Kate Richmond, Tanya McNeil, all you guys, you hear me right. Jalen Acker, I expect to see you guys out. Maybe Jalen will play softball this year. We got to talk her into that. So April 27th, we'll be out there for the whole day with the Warhawks, and looking forward to that as well. Menominee Falls, always a soft spot in our heart for Menominee. Easy for me to say, Menominee Falls softball. Coach Lou and his family and Coach Langer and his family have been so generous and supportive of us, and we're so appreciative of that. And we're going to do 3 big games with the Falls this year. First one is going to be at home against Brookfield Central, and then at home again May 2nd against DSHA, and then May 3rd. So we'll do back-to-back with the Falls. Second at home against DSHA, and then the third at Tosa East. And that game should be a really, really good one, Tosa East and Menominee Falls. Home stretch here, you guys. Wauwatosa East is next. So you'll notice a large proportion of games with Tosa East, and there's two reasons for that. One is they've got an artificial surface, which means that we're pretty confident that we won't have games rained out or snowed out or whatever on that day, so we can do that. And the second reason, really the larger reason, is our relationship with Coach Rowie at Tosa East. He volunteered so much time with us this winter to live stream girls basketball games on W7 Lite on the GMC, let us go out to other conferences and do games while he stayed home and made sure that we were minding the store at the GMC doing a bunch of games. So anytime somebody, especially when a coach devotes that kind of time to what we're doing, because again, we all know it's easy to say you support something, but to actually do it is a whole different thing. So he's done that, and so we want to reward his team for that, and we're going to do a bunch of games with Tosa East this year. So again, you can say, well, hey, that's not fair. What I would say is, come and volunteer with us. I guarantee you'll get a boatload of games the next time it comes around. That's just the way it works. So we support those that support us, and vice versa. So 6 games with Tosa East, Catholic Memorial at home. That's our season opener, March 19th. April 2nd at Brookfield Central. April 5th at West Allis Hale. April 23rd against Brookfield Central. May 3rd against the Falls, and May 4th against New Berlin West. So a big slate of games with the Red Raiders this year. And again, we've got a great relationship with them and with the team, and looking forward to renewing that and seeing the families again as we get the season going. Last but not least, West Allis Hale, April 5th, Wauwatosa East. I'm counting on Coach Satiros to come out and call that game with me. So I'm going to have to remind him. You know what? I won't have to remind him. I know he's on right now watching. So, George, you and me, buddy, we're doing that one, April 5th. Tosa East, West Allis Hale at Hale. So that'll be looking forward to that. That'll be a great time. We'll see how much softball we get called and how much story time telling we do. So, hey, that's our show for tonight. Again, I want to thank our friends at Zone Athletics for their help and their support of W7. Get into that contest. Make sure that you do that lift up video. Get those alternate jerseys. They're going to be really, really cool, you guys. So, again, check our website for details on that if you need to go back and look. But looking forward to a great softball season. I hopefully enjoyed the softball reveal schedule reveal for this year. Any questions, feel free to email us or contact us on social media. We're looking forward to seeing you guys all really soon. And once again, everything W7 does, we do for the girls.